Okay, so the next film on the list was a Netflix production. It is A Woman of the Hour. It stars and was directed by Anna Kendrick, the great Anna Kendrick. Didn't really have anyone else in it that was like super famous and notable that I know of or I'd seen before. Good enough cast. But this is like based in the 70s about a young girl that goes on like a blind date show, isn't it? It's Blind Date, really. She's trying to be an actress. She can't really get any parts for one reason or another. She's almost thinking of going back to Nebraska or Kansas, wherever she's from, that old shtick. But she gets the chance to go on this blind date thing. But one of the contestants on it basically is a psycho killer. And through a series of flashbacks, while the show's sort of going on, we see what he's been up to. And as you said to me, he's kind of a little bit like that guy out of No Country for Old Men, Anton Chigurh. He's got that vibe anyway, that creepy vibe going. Maybe not as extreme as that, more realistic than that. But so, it's building the tension the whole time. Like, is she going to pick him? If so, do they go on a date? What's going to happen to her because he's been doing all this serial killer stuff in between? That's the premise, but it's based on a true story. It actually happened in real life. This guy was so charming, like, the old adage of serial killers. They're charming. They charm you into their clutches, sort of, what was his name? Ted Bundy style. This was one of those guys. So it kind of works on that level of builds the tension of, oh shit, what's going to happen to her? But also like, oh, it was based on a true story. And also, apparently, Anna Kendrick gave all the profits to victims charity, which I thought was a good thing to do because it could possibly point the finger of exploitation at them otherwise. But, important story to tell. She did a very good job, I thought, in the direction. It was pretty great. And, over to you. Any of your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, exactly the same. I think, it's very interesting, obviously, this dating game episode, which you say is a bit like Blind Date across here.
Yeah.
I thought Daniel Zovatto, who played Rodney Alcala as the serial killer's name, was just fantastic. As you say, we both said, No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem, that character, it's what he felt like, and as you say, in a more realistic way, but it gave that vibe, and it was very unnerving. And there's some really gripping sequences in this which really unnerve you, to get underneath your skin. You're like, oh, this is
scary,
gross and scary. Yeah. I love the fact it's told out of sequence. The character stories done in these flashbacks and stuff like this.
Yeah,
because it keeps the ending a surprise. You can't quite tell where it's going because the way they're pulling at all these threads.
Yeah, but
each one is a compelling story. And it is very disturbing, very well produced film. Everything about it's just great. It's very tight. There's nothing wasted in here.
No.
The script is really well done. I'd never heard of the guy before, Rodney Alcala. And so reading up about him afterwards, I mean, it just sounds horrific. He did hundreds, they reckon, he could have killed in the end, including young boys and young girls and stuff like this. It's really disturbing. And so it's I think it's good to tell these kind of stories.
Norm Macdonald would say, "This guy was a real prick."
Exactly. Real bastard.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, the scariest thing about him is he's so convincing that he's a nice guy to a lot of people. You even see that where he's.
But they are these kind of characters, aren't they? As you say, Ted Bundy and all these different ones over the years. A lot of them are just such charming individuals. They
seems to be
people. I think it's a natural characteristic. If you watch some of these shows where they kind of analyse these kind of things, it's a natural characteristic of them that they need to be able to convince people to do things that they wouldn't do, or trust them, or these things.
Yeah.
So a natural attribute, especially because a lot of these ones tend to be very high IQ individuals, right?
Right.
I think a part of them is they can manipulate people. They can be charming. They know how to pick the buttons.
Know what to say to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but very well done. Great little film to watch. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. You can check it out. It's a Netflix production, so it'll always be on there. As I say, I thought she did a great job. So definitely a thumbs up from me and from you. Thanks very much for watching this video, we really appreciate it. The best way to support this channel is by dropping us a like and subscribing. Other ways to support us include Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. This video was sponsored by funkyt-shirts.co.uk. Check out their website for a full range of awesome t-shirt designs. You can find all the links in the description.